Hello, YouTube viewer. This is Wazell from BananaLaser. I just want to give you a heads up. This review that you're about to hear is just an excerpt from our full podcast. It has many other things besides movie reviews, games, skits, general topics of conversation. So to get access to the full show completely unedited, go to horrorphilia.com. Also check us out on iTunes and Stitcher. Join the resistance. Join the LaserNation. So now on with the review. Have fun listening. All right, lasers, we're back, and we're talking about John Carpenter's The Fog from 1980, and it stars Adrienne Barbeau as Stevie Wayne, the sexy Stevie Wayne, Jamie Lee Curtis as Elizabeth, Janet Leigh as Kathy Williams, John Houseman as Mr. Somebody, Tom Atkins, the wonderful Tom Atkins, not as Dan Chalice, but Nick Castle. Isn't that the guy who played...
More on that later. Yeah, more on that later.
Okay, gotcha. Nancy Loomis as Sandy, and Hal Holbrook as Father Malone. Quick synopsis.
Father Mablomi.
Mablomi. Hey, Mablomi. Fuck, Mahoney, get out of here. Nobody's talking to you. Jesus. Yeah, shut up. The centenary of a small seaside town of Antonio Bay, California is approaching. 100 years ago, the wealthy leper Blake bought the clipper ship Elizabeth Dane and sailed with his people to form a leper colony.
A leper colony?
That's what I thought he said, a leprechaun.
No!
Bunch of short guys on a boat.
It's a gnome.
Imagine that.
Leper colony.
I probably did say that. I love him. Love to kick him. They were deliberately misguided by a campfire on shore, steering the course of the ship toward the light and crashing her against the rocks, while the townsfolk prepared to celebrate the victims of this heinous crime that the town's founding fathers committed rise from the sea to claim retribution. Under cover of the fog, they carry out their vicious attacks, searching for what is rightly theirs.
Why do they call a boat she?
All boats are named after women.
Because they float?
I used to have a boat. It was called the Filthy Whore.
So, all right, John Carpenter's The Fog. This is the follow-up to Halloween. Came out in 1980, and right off the bat, it got me thinking, I want to know, is it just hubris that makes the director put his name above the title? Because John Carpenter's made a career of it, and I hardly ever see that. But what do you got to do to get that to happen? Is there some kind of legality to it, or something like that? Why would you even think that this movie was only made by you?
Well, for Halloween, that was part of the negotiations. He I don't want to say held them up, but it was part of his negotiations where ultimately there was a little back and forth going on with the movie. I can't believe we never talked about this during the retro, but this is...
Let's record it now, and then we'll add it back in. That show is only 4 hours, needs to be 4:10.
Yeah, do that. But no, he that was part of his deal. It's like, listen, I'll do this, and we can do this. It's quid pro quo. And he says, I want the movie to be called John Carpenter's Halloween when the credits roll. And they rolled with it, so I'm guessing that because of the success of Halloween, that more people were just kind of more eager to follow suit.
When I was young, I always thought it was cool. Like, yeah, John Carpenter's They Live, John Carpenter's whatever.
It is cool.
Well, as an adult, I just think, like, movies are made
by...
Yes, movies are made by, hundreds of people. To think that this is yours is, it's pretentious. He is an asshole, isn't he?
I think he is.
No. I don't think he's an asshole. Because you know why I don't think he's an asshole? Because of where he falls into a lot of things politically. That's why I don't think he's an asshole. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's, fronting.
Homie is fronting. So this flick was written by Deborah Hill and John Carpenter together. Now this is interesting to me, and I was really thinking about this the whole time while watching it, because I'm pretty sure that during the filming, he was banging Adrienne Barbeau, right?
But they were married. How's that?
Oh, they were married.
Not only were they married, this was
that makes no sense. Wait a minute. Now, Halloween was 1978. He was with Deborah Hill.
Yep.
So they broke up. He met Barbeau and was together long enough to get married to her in maybe 15 months.
Maybe they fell head over heels.
More than that, he wrote the part specifically for her.
Yes.
So that must have been a quick thing going.
She must have fucking blew his balls off. She's, who knows what kind of skills that woman had.
I mean, it looks like she's got fucking skills, I'll tell you that. So, do you think Deborah Hill was, I mean, she's also like one of the producers. Do you think she was on set?
She was there and it was uncomfortable and all that type of shit, but I guess you just act professional, and it's a real shitty thing. But I mean, if she's willing, no one's twisting her arm. I mean, it's a job. She could have walked off if it was too emotionally distressing for her. But I don't know.
Now wait a second. I'm going to get into more of this later with the relationships in real life and fictional in this movie, which are pretty crazy.
Thanks for the tease.
Yeah, I'm saving that till later.
Gotcha.
But what I want to, Alex, no, I don't know. I'm asking if you know. I don't know. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. They yes, it is known that they had a relationship. Now, is it a fact that when they made Halloween, that's when that relationship was happening, or could that have happened after this?
So you're saying you think
I'm asking.
that
I don't
he left
think.
Barbeau and went to Deborah Hill?
It's possible. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, that's what I think.
All right.
Yeah, I think he was poking her when they were writing the girl parts for Halloween.
It is weird, professionalism or not. I think if I was working with a chick I was banging and a chick I am banging at the same time, that would be the fucking most stressful place to work in my entire life.
You've never done that before?
No, I actually have done it, but
right. So have I.
No, he's telling you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least they're getting paid money, like big money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no. Let's get back into the movie. Okay, so this movie, it opens with a campfire story and being told of this shipwreck that I mentioned in the plot summary earlier. Now, this opening is fun, but it's confusing to me because he's explaining the story, the tale of Blake, the guy in his ship and how it crashed and all this stuff. But is this before the events of the movie or after the events of the movie? Because it is. Because seemingly does he not know of the curse? I'm really confused.
He's right about the curse. And the next day, Adrienne Barbeau's son tells him that the old man so-and-so kept us up late the night before telling us the ghost stories.
I was nodding off on that part, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, he is right, because everything happens between midnight and 1. And he said that it was 4:20. It was April 20th. And at midnight...
Hey, Hitler's birthday. Yeah, hell yeah.
Smoke up.
Oh, yeah, Alex, nice. You gotta smoke some weed, man. Midnight at 4:21. From 4:20 to 4:21, that's when this took place, and that's when the guy was talking. So, what's your issue with it, Matt?
Oh, I just didn't, because I didn't know that the curse was known. I thought the curse was a totally new thing that Father Malone discovered when he found the diary of his grandfather.
Well, the curse is new, but the tale is old.
And he was telling the tale, but not of the curse.
Yes. He
Gotcha.
just said
okay, that makes sense.
Thing happened, the ship went down, and he said what he said. He never said these guys come back for a fucking revenge every year or something.
Gotcha. Okay, because also this opening scene, and I find this fascinating, if you watch some of the behind the scenes or listen to the commentary, this film went under major reshoots. I mean, major. And this opening scene was one of the things that they shot after the film was completed. And they tacked this on to the beginning to give it, to lengthen the movie and to give it more atmosphere and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of scenes, and I find it fascinating just knowing where they kind of did this stuff. And in some scenes in particular, you can really see the difference in, the shots don't necessarily match up. Like you can tell, and we'll talk about it later, but you can tell where something just is an add-on to the scene.
Always we'll talk later. We never get to it.
Let's talk about the guy giving the speech. How about him? His name is John Houseman, and he was in Ghost Story the very next year, because I'm a big fan of that movie Ghost Story, and I thought that it was kind of a cool contrast that he was in this movie, which was a ghost story, and then he was in Ghost Story the next year, and he really isn't like a genre vet or anything.
Maybe he's a ghost. Oh my God! Why do I think of him as selling oatmeal? Did he do that? Is he like? I guess I'm thinking of the Quaker Oats man.
You're confusing.
No,
the Quaker
Wilford
Oats
Brimley.
Man. Yes, you're confusing him with Wilford Brimley.
Another, and he's in another Carpenter movie, The Thing, right?
And I think he has diabetes. Yes.
I think, yeah. No, he definitely does.
Okay.
He's Mr. Tusk too, by the way.
You're right. That is the same type of character. Wilford Brimley was in The Thing, and he was here, and they are kind of familiar. And I remember this guy the most from what do you call it? Naked Gun, the driving instructor.
Wesley Nielsen?
No. John Houseman, the old guy with his slow delivery. He's like, what does he say to the girl that's driving on driving test? She's like, gently extend your arms out the window. Put up your middle finger.
Oh, yeah.
Raise it. Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome. This is also part of the reshoots. It kind of opens up the town, and we see shots of the town and stuff like that. And it's midnight or approaching midnight or whatever. And so all of a sudden, strange phenomenon starts happening with the curse. Like it shows a store, and the bottles start shaking, and all the car alarms start going off and stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But it's just weird to think that those elements were part of the reshoots and added in later. So you already have two things in the fucking beginning of the movie that was added later. It's like, what was the movie to begin with? You know,
it was too short. That's all.
And also very uneventful.
Maybe so. Maybe uneventful. And somebody said, make it longer and add a few. Let's do some close encounters type scenes.
Add some girth,
right?
Mm-hmm.
With shaking shit and stuff blowing, and basically they ripped off the ghost thing from many other things. The Ghost Story from Madman or Friday.
Exactly. Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Dude.
Granted, hold on, they didn't rip it off. This came first. My bad.
Okay. Well,
so this was first.
They did rip off Friday the 13th Part 3 because that asshole in the store goes straight for the orange juice, takes a giant swig, puts it back. You know what I'm talking about? The opening of Friday 3?
Yeah. So Friday the 13th ripped off The Fog more than once.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. Friday 3 ripped off The Fog.
Right.
And 2.
What do you guys think of John Carpenter as an actor? Now, that's when he becomes John Carpenter. I mean, he is a far better director, and he is an actor. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
Oh, he's terrible. Yeah, well, do you think I get paid, Father Malone?
Oh, thank you, Bennett. I won't need you until 4 tomorrow, Bennett.
Yes, sir.
Would you like something to keep you warm on the way home?
No, thank you. Father, can I get paid?
Why don't you come in at 6 instead of 4 tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Father Malone, do you think I can get paid?
Why don't you come in at 6 tomorrow, you ungrateful prick? That's what
I will be there, but I don't like it.
Is it Jason Lloyd?
This
Jason Lloyd's
church
cool,
is not built upon shit. Okay. Okay, since we're in bad acting right now, let's stay there for a second, and I gotta play you guys a clip. This is fucking horrendous. This scene is bizarre too because it's two people that are, I don't know how seasoned actually the one person is, but the other is Janet Leigh, and the other one is Nancy Loomis, and they're in a car and driving, I don't know, doing something. So they start talking about stuff. Listen to the fucking delivery from Nancy Loomis, who's Annie from Halloween. And Janet Leigh sounds awkward just replying to this because it's just it's so bad. And there's one line that's pretty long. It's like 3 sentences or something, or 2 sentences in a row. And Annie sounds like she is wherever the term phoning it in came from. It had to have derived from this scene. Listen to this.
Well, if I can just get through the speeches without yawning. I couldn't sleep last night.
Too excited?
No, Al went out on his boat last night and didn't come home. He still isn't back.
Mrs. Williams?
I called the Coast Guard and they said, oh, he might have had engine trouble. They said not to worry. He was complaining about his boat.
No, this is not a joke. I'm not changing any of this. This is actually how it was.
Maybe you ought to go home.
Oh, that's the last place I want to go. My dog started to bark at 12 last night and didn't stop until 6 this morning.
What happened?
He was pointed toward the ocean and growling. What does that tell you? My dog goes crazy and decides to bark.
Now here it is. Check this out.
I heard the church bells at midnight as I started to drift off to sleep, and suddenly my car alarm went off for absolutely no reason.
Really?
Woke up the whole block. This town sits around for 100 years and nothing happens, and then one night the whole place falls apart.
Ugh.
Let's just get through the scene, goddammit.
That had to be a joke when she. This.
What does that tell you? My dog goes crazy.
This had to be a joke. This line.
I heard the church bells at midnight as I started to drift off to sleep, and suddenly my car alarm went off for absolutely no reason.
Really?
Like, is that writing that just is unnatural, or she just doesn't know how to deliver it?
It's a combination.
Yeah, I think it is a combination. And you could tell that, you can't tell. I believe that Deborah Hill did the same thing in this movie that she did in Halloween. When the three girls had their dialogue, she wrote it. I think that she wrote this dialogue between these two girls.
Oh, God.
Well, you know what? Honestly, here's what I hear when I listen to that. And I know that this is who their characters are. All I can picture is Marion Crane and fucking Annie Brackett.
Dude,
they sound exactly the same.
I'll listen to Annie Brackett talk all day long. I don't care if she's bad or not.
You thought she was hot in this, right?
Fuck yeah. I don't know what it is. It's not like she has a great hairdo or she's wearing tremendously tight clothing. No, but I don't. Her facial features and I don't know. She's fucking super hot to me.
All right, Matt. F, marry, kill. Halloween, Fog, or Halloween 3?
F, marry, kill. Okay, I would F the Fog, marry Halloween, and kill Halloween 3.
Okay.
Good answer.
I thought you were going to do Adrienne Barbeau, Jamie
Lee
Curtis.
I. Yes.
And well, let's do that one.
Okay.
Well, definitely F Jamie Lee. Oh wait, no.
Nope.
Oh.
I think different. Yeah.
F Annie.
Yep.
Kill Jamie Lee, marry Adrienne Barbeau.
I agree.
Yes.
No.
What?
Because you got to remember, I already have foresight to what Jamie Lee Curtis will look like in 1997.
No, you got to ignore that.
No, true lies, baby. So I am marrying that.
Mm-hmm.
I will F Annie and kill Adrienne Barbeau.
What? And you know that Janet Leigh is going to be regular. I mean, Jamie Lee is going to be regular.
What do you mean she's going to go back to regular looking?
No,
she's
got regular shits.
Oh, regular Activa. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a spokesperson for...
Yeah, Michael Myers scared the shit out of her. Yes.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Listen, I never hitchhiked before. I just really want to be careful. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Are you weird?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am weird.
You are weird.
Yes.
You're weird, thank God. The last ride I had was so normal, it was disgusting. He picked me up in Santa Barbara. By the time we got to Carmel, he wanted to marry me.
Oh, yeah. I thought you never hitchhiked before.
Not before last week. You're my 13th ride.
Oh, great. Weird and unlucky.
All right, well, let's get into one of the best actors of all time. And he is in this movie. Mr. Tom Atkins as Dan Chalice. Now this...
No stash, though.
No stash. He looks like fucking Homer Simpson when he's like young and doesn't have the beard. He's shaven.
He does.
He looks weird, man.
He looks like an asshole with no mustache.
An asshole.
He looks like a nice guy. Like even in Creepshow, when he was like, give me that worthless piece of shit. It's going right in the garbage, buddy boy. Like, he had no mustache, so to me, I always relate his non-mustache face as an asshole.
Oh.
This is how I see it. Given the first two scenes of this movie where he's drinking while driving
right.
and picks up and
fucks
Jamie Lee without knowing her name, this movie is just the further adventures of Dan Chalice.
Yeah, it is, man.
Even though Halloween 3 came out after this, I like to think in the movie universe, he stopped being a doctor after Halloween 3, after he saved the world, and now he's just driving. You know, he's like fucking in Kung Fu. He's just wandering the earth in this fucking weird looking truck.
Yes, and
Picking
somehow
up tank.
Annie keeps making it everywhere that they're.
Yeah.
She keeps tagging along with Jamie Lee Curtis somehow, and Dan Chalice.
Typical ex-wife.
Well,
yeah,
wouldn't you? I mean, he's got a golden dick or something.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't get whiskey dick either.
Yeah.
Considering, you know.
And he was also drinking Budweiser, not Miller, in this movie.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Misstep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. Isn't it funny how quickly he bedded Jamie Lee and how long it took him to fuck the robot in Halloween 3? You would think it would be the other way around, but...
Yeah, true, yeah. Yeah,
Man.
Jamie Lee was just a dirty birdie in this
The
movie.
fucking life of this dude. How...
Right.
I mean, don't you... How many times has this happened to you guys, right? I mean, you pick up a young chick on the side of the road. 4 hours later, you fucked her, and then you're like, hey, I don't even know your name. Like, what the fuck?
And I just got it like that. You'll find that totally charming and hang out with me for the rest of this movie.
Right, yeah. And okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie, but what is her character doing? I didn't catch that. Is she just literally just wandering, looking for dick? Yeah.
Yeah, she's supposed to be going to California on to bigger and better things. And then, you know, she gets caught up in this situation, of course, because as soon as the next day, what's his name? Dan Chalice goes to the docks and he gets upset that his friend's not there.
Yeah.
Why he was taking her to the dock, I don't know. Was he going to put her on a boat and fucking have her cruise to California or something? I don't know. But somehow she was there, and next thing you know, it's the wacky adventures. And she's like, oh, boy, wow. We got to, there's the seagrass. Let's get on it. And the next thing you know, Dan Chalice and Laurie Strode are on the fucking seagrass.
Unbelievable.
High on the seagrass. So, okay. So, the next day they go to the dock. Now, is it just, there's so much about this movie I guess I don't fucking understand because I have all these questions. Is it just because to see his friend, or does he have business there with the dock or something?
I think he's seeing her off. I think that's what it is. I think my
seriously.
Theory, that's
but
that's
he
the
knows
best I got.
He knows one of the guys on the boat that have vanished. Okay,
Correct.
it's just a friendship. Okay, gotcha.
But he's upset that he's not there. He's like, these guys are supposed to be back or something. He says. So he was like really surprised that these seasoned, what are they called? Salesmen. What's the word for it?
Seamen.
Seamen. Yeah.
Okay, men of the sea.
You can't tell me you don't know about seamen, Dave. Come on.
He said salesman.
A sailor.
That's what I meant. A sailor.
A salesman.
Like sales. I was thinking about selling something. I was literally thinking about, sales,
S-A-L-E-S.
ship.
Yeah. Oh, we get it.
I mean,
Okay.
S-A-I-L-S. You were saying salesman, yeah.
Yeah, okay. These seasoned sailors weren't there. I think maybe that's the best I got. He was going to put her on that boat.
Yeah, he's going to ship her. Why would you ship your Tang off so quickly? I'd be trying to keep her around for at least a couple of weeks.
Ah, fuck. What does he care? He's Dan Chalice. He's going to put in the car, get another beer, and bang some other chick. He's going to bag Adrienne Barbeau the next day,
God. Love
or
this
Annie.
guy. Dude,
Go back to Annie.
I would have been around Annie.
Or Marion Crane, for that matter. Maybe he's going to go for fucking MILF. Who knows?
I don't know how old Marion Crane was in this movie, but her body still looked good.
Okay, can we change the topic?
For a silverback. Hey, once you go gray, you never stray, buddy boy.
All right, let's move on to...
Okay, let's talk about these three assholes on the boat at the beginning.
Right.
Because
that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit of comic relief with they're fucking boozing it up and what's the guy say? There's no fog bank out there.
Yes, and then all of a sudden...
There's a fog bank.
Yeah, there's a fog bank out there.
He's crazy. There's no fog bank out there. Hey, there's a fog bank out there.
That dude is also in another... I know him from another John Carpenter movie, They Live. He plays a bum who turns on Roddy Piper. And so he's a bum at the beginning of the movie, and then later in the movie he's giving him a tour through the alien fucking bunker and shit.
Oh, he turns face. John Hanlon was asking me, he's a listener, and he said, do you guys think They Live holds up if you watch it today, if you haven't watched it in like 20 years?
Yeah, I watched it maybe 6 to 8 months ago, my girlfriend, and I loved it. Thought it was great.
Okay.
I watched it for the first time ever 6 to 8 months ago, and I did enjoy it. I didn't think Roddy is a good lead, and then I really think that's a movie that should be remade.
Should have been Kurt Russell.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not there's not a lot of action. It's a movie you could really just ramp up the action, and it's a lot more subtle than that.
They should remake it, bottom line, in this day and age.
But still have Keith David as the black guy.
Yeah, he can still do it.
Yeah, he definitely can. Mm-hmm. That dude's a badass. Anyways, so this scene on the boat is one of the scenes I was talking about with major reshoots. At any point in time in the movie, when there's close-ups of like the swords and the hooks and stuff like that, was all filmed after the fact. In fact, you never saw anybody get killed in this scene in the original version of the movie.
What?
You do not see anybody get killed. The most you see is, I think you might see the ship go by, but that's it. And then you see one of the, I guess, salesmen come in through the door and walk slowly up to the guy inside, but that's it. Whenever they, and it's really jarring once you know that it's an added scene, the two guys are outside on the deck, and the ship goes by, and then they turn and they say, who is that or what is that? And they see the guys on the boat and they get attacked. Well, whenever they turn and say, what is that, who is that? That's all added. And then they get attacked, they get stabbed a couple times and shit like that. So, but yeah, and it all happens within the first 20 minutes of the movie. This and the campfire tale and stuff like that. So it's like, how boring was this fucking movie?
Wow.
I get that he was trying to go for atmosphere and mood and a real ghost story, but it just seemed like it would have been a real piece of shit.
Right. And I think that scene is great. All of a sudden you see that old boat creeping up, moving real slow, and then the guys are on the boat and the fog is there and they come and you get ghost slashers. When else do you see ghost slashers?
You think they're ghost slashers or slasher ghosts?
Actually, I want to say that they are slasher ghosts. Yeah. I think that's the correct term for this, because they're ghosts and they're slashers. I mean, what the fuck? They do slashing. And you don't see ghosts do that. They're picking up weapons. That's what I thought was really cool, though. Straight up. That, the way they killed those guys was pretty cool.
Yeah, ghosts usually just go up to you and go, like raise their arms, and you just keep running, and they don't ever actually
you just fall through them. Yeah.
Yeah, like in Scooby-Doo, the ghosts always ran up to Scooby and all that, but we never saw what would happen if they just stayed there and didn't run away. Okay, I'm on medicine, guys. I'm on 20 things of cough syrup right now.
when the first shock of the guy getting stabbed from behind, and you see about 2 feet of a sword go through his chest is awesome. That's a great shot. It's very shocking too. Yeah,
how about the third guy or the second? Does somebody get killed with a meat thermometer in his eye? Is that what that is?
No. The second guy gets a meat hook, or fish hook or something.
Yep.
And then the guy who gets stabbed through the chest also gets stabbed in the shoulder with a knife. That's what it is.
No, somebody is in the cabin. It's 3 people get killed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is that a meat thermometer, Matt? You would know, I think. It looks just like it. It's a long, silver, skinny thing,
fleshy,
and a
veiny,
big, yeah.
Filled with semen.
No, salesman.
Filled with salesmen.
And a big round fucking clock-looking thing on the other end, like a thermometer. What was that thing?
Sounds like a thermometer. I honestly don't remember. But yeah,
Matt,
it sounds
can we just say
like
yes and move on?
Yes, it is. Yes,
okay.
It definitively is.
Awesome.
Okay.
Moving
thermometer
on.
Murder.
I didn't even know that until I watched the movie this time that these guys are lepers. I didn't catch. I guess I fell asleep to this movie so many times.
What's a leper?
Someone with leprosy.
What's that? I know it's a skin thing.
What's a salesman? Someone who sails.
What's on the skin?
Nothing. It falls off.
Nothing. Their skin is rotting on their body.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up shit, man.
Mm-hmm. So
if you have leprosy, your skin's rotting off of you?
It actually still occurs to this day.
I never saw anybody like that.
Well, it's very rare. It's just like the Wolfman syndrome. We've never seen that, but it happens.
Or the genius that's in the 2% because he's not inverted, he's outverted.
Oh no, I know one of those guys.
Wait, I know a lycanthrope. Alex is a lycanthrope, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember everything. Just like I'm a slasher aficionado,
Yeah,
I remember that you're a lycanthrope.
Well, how about, what do you guys think of this? Like, Matt thinks this movie sort of drags, and one thing that can make a movie feel like it's one thing to make a movie feel like it's going on forever is when shit gets repeated. Like when that night was over and this bitch is walking back to the radio station and all you hear is KAB, Antonio Bay, it's 1435. KB.
From the top of the world, fabulous 1340 KAB, Antonio Bay.
Bay, Antonio Bay. 1445.
It's now 7:15. It's now 7:30. It's now 7:32.
KAB, Antonio Bay. Like, did you guys notice this went on for like 2-3 straight minutes? I was like, what is this? No, you don't remember. It's crazy.
I didn't notice. That's cool. Not cool, but...
What scene was that?
When she's gonna start the next day of work. On the radio.
Right, and
that's a recording. That's why.
But why is she listening to it? Just to make sure everything's going okay?
She's setting up
Does
shop.
that play all the fucking time she's not on the air?
No. She's just opening up shop. My guess is that she turned the light on, and it's just on a cassette, if you will, or something like that. And when they're warming everything up in the lighthouse, turning the lights on and turning the all the stuff on, microphones and whatnot, that's on for some reason. And I understand why they did it, so they can have the effect of the water going on it and everything slowing down when she has that plank.
I think because her radio station, which is real shitty because all they play is fucking jazz. And that too. She's definitely playing that. It only airs from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. every day. That's it. So every other time, it has to broadcast something. So people know. I think
it's what the other sound is.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Yeah, so people know it's an actual radio station.
Yeah, because, Dave, that was playing when she was walking down the long stairs.
Oh, so that goes on nonstop as long as she's not on the job.
Can you imagine that?
You just don't turn it on. People, it's a local thing, and it's a lighthouse. It's a town of salesmen, and they know this to do her job. So I don't think anyone thinks to put that station on between those hours. But in case they do, if they turn it on at 5 or 5 minutes to 6,
yeah, can you imagine 5 minutes of that?
No, maybe for
we got 2.5 minutes in the movie, right?
Yeah.
This is KDHK is now 6:15.
Antonio Bay.
That was a good sequence, though, when she had that plank and then she brought it in and the water came, and that was cool. I like that. And then it said 6 must die. I like that.
6 must die. Yeah, it gave us the rules of the movie, I guess.
It did.
And why is that? Because back in 1880, it was 6 people who put this whole thing into motion with killing this dude.
Oh, I thought it was 6 of them that got killed. So it's bodies for bodies. But maybe you're right. Maybe 6 people conspired.
Oh, when there were people in the church, there was other people going after Adrienne Barbeau on the roof.
Yeah, there's more than 6. Okay, so I guess it's like the original 6 that killed them. Good call, Matt. You're right.
Well, that's my other question is that at the end, Father Malone is saying, I have to die. I'm the 6th conspirator. Well, what the fuck does that mean? You're the grandson of the conspirator.
Right. It's bloodlines.
Owes him the flesh.
This is your goal, Blake. My grandfather stole it from you. I'm the one who must answer for it. I'm the 6th conspirator. I'm Father Malone. Take me.
Okay, so you're saying the 3 salesmen, the weatherman, who is Sheriff Brackett, by the way. We haven't talked about him.
Yeah, we will.
And the grandma, those are descendants of the other conspirators?
I like to think that everyone that lives on that island or whatever the fuck it is. That everyone that is in Antonio Bay, it's
Antonio Bay.
Yes, that it's a fishing town, and they've been there for generations. They're just their own thing. You know what I mean? And it's just a very small town, and they all have history there, 100 years back. Kind of like a Stephen King novel almost, a small town and ancestry. That's what I like to think. Yes, Derry, Maine, exactly. But this movie's very atmospheric, and because it's this kind of movie, I could buy that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I do love the atmosphere of this movie.
Yes.
I like how it's an ensemble cast of about 50% interesting characters, and how none of them really know each other, and they all kind of come together at the end. I find that very enjoyable. My main problem with the movie is there's just not enough action to hold my interest throughout the entire thing.
Did you guys get distracted that 90% of the cast is from Halloween?
Yes.
It's amazing.
But is it distracting?
No, I like it for it. It's something that even watching the opening credits and seeing all the stuff, and I'm like, wow,
dude,
wow, cool.
Sheriff Brackett sucks in this fucking movie. He's a putz in this fucking movie.
Right.
But I'm glad it's him. I would rather it be Sheriff Brackett than some unknown person that I could give a fuck about. And I'm not looking for a great acting performance in that role. I don't.
Oh, well, then you're okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I am okay. I like it for that because it adds to the charm of the movie. This is the movie. It's the only one of its kind.
Yeah, but you got to have Annie and her dad.
That's what's cool.
That's kind of weird. Why not have Linda and then that Annie's dad and then Lori?
Well, they probably tried to get Linda, but maybe she was busy doing something else. I
doubt that.
And Nick Castle's in this.
And Nick Castle, and not just Nick Castle, Dan O'Bannon and Tommy Wallace, all characters in this movie, all named after fucking people that real people that John Carpenter worked with, and that's just the tip of the iceberg on the coincidences and the relationships in this film. It's out of control. I was thinking of it a little bit as I'm watching it, of course, because it's impossible not to. And then one thing led to another, and my mind started going places. I said, oh, wait a minute. And there's this, and this person did this with this. Next thing you know, I did a little research, and, We'll start with John Carpenter, who appears on the film. As we know, we were making fun of him.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter.
That's John Carpenter.
You're right.
Behind the camera, it's Carpenter.
And you already mentioned it, Alex, that he fucked Deborah Hill and Adrienne Barbeau. Now that's that's one thing. Now how about this? Adrienne Barbeau was married to Hal Holbrook in Creepshow a couple years later, and Hal Holbrook's in this movie as Father Malone.
That's right. Hey, is this 6 Degrees of John Carpenter?
Listen, it is.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and I'll go a step further about Creepshow. Tom Atkins is also in Creepshow. So
yes.
Those three
stashless. Yeah.
Listen, it's crazy. Now, here's another one. Tom Atkins was with Nancy Loomis in this movie and, of course, in Halloween 3. Okay. Here's another one. Nancy Loomis in real life dated, I'm not sure about married, had 2 kids with Tommy Lee Wallace.
What?
Yeah. Who was the fucking,
director of Halloween 3.
And director of Halloween 3 and in the crew in this movie. He has 2 kids with them. Dated. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Right?
That's weird.
Yeah. Now you have Annie, the same girl, who also goes by the name of Annie Brackett, is in this movie, and her father, in Fake, in Halloween 1, obviously, we mentioned Sheriff Brackett is in this movie. So we have that. Then we have the obvious one about, Jamie Lee Curtis and her mother. Okay, we have that. Basically, Halloween 1 through 3 is all represented in this movie. From the directors to the fucking Dean Cundy does them all. He's director of photography in this movie. Part of this movie's charm, in my opinion. I love the way it's filmed, just like Halloween. Mm-hmm. So he's part of that. But basically, everybody involved in 1 through 3, in front of the camera and behind the camera, is tied into this movie. How about Nancy Loomis? Think about that. Nancy Loomis is her name. Now, Marion Crane was once in a movie, and she was dating a character named Sam Loomis.
Oh my God.
Okay? Sam Loomis later came back in John Carpenter's Halloween. And now, here they are together once again. That's what I got. It's pretty fucked up.
I can't believe that Jamie Lee Curtis was in a movie with her mom, Janet Leigh, and Janet Leigh was still alive 20 years later to be in a movie with her again.
Right? H2O.
Oh, yeah, H2O.
Yeah, like, I thought she was old in this.
It's just the hair. I'm telling you, she's probably not that old in this.
Silverback.
Yeah, it's just the hair.
And how about the ghosts? They're being played by fucking Rob Bottin, as he's the makeup guy. He's the main ghost. He's Blake, whatever the fuck his name is. And the other ghost is Tommy Lee Wallace.
What? He played Michael Myers in Halloween 1 in some scenes, and most notably the closet scene.
Really?
Yeah, because he knew the way he wanted it done so they could shoot it in one take to save time and money. So he just said, fuck it, give me the shit, I'll do it myself.
That's pretty fucked up. And the name Tommy Wallace always seemed like a Halloween name to me because of, think about that, in the movie. The little boy's name is Tommy, right? And they run across the street, and the girl's name is Lindsay Wallace.
Holy shit.
Dude.
This is blowing my fucking...
This is a rabbit hole I did not expect to go down.
Yeah, we're not getting out of this one, man.
Okay,
Oh my God.
how about this? The sweater that the guy wears.
Oh, God.
There's more?
The sweater that the guy wears in this
Friday
movie
13th. Please come back to Friday 13th.
in the Thing later.
All right, Dave, we can't do loser internet bullshit. We have
And
to
that's
do
the end of it.
Okay, good.
Oh, I was hoping that the sweater was going to be Jason's mom's sweater.
Yeah. It was worn by Pamela. Yes. Imagine that.
Oh, that would have been awesome. And then we can get into Nightmare on Elm Street.
And the street in there. Get into the music of this movie.
Oh.
Now, oh my God. It was like dun 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 do, 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 do. Like, do you remember that when they were showing what the fuck was it? It was like a really when the kid's getting when he picks up the wood, when it was a gold coin, it turns into the wood, then he walks back to the house. That music. Now, is this original music just for this movie? Because it seems iconic, like I've heard it before.
It's Carpenter. It's what he does.
It's just his style, so it resonates somewhere in my head, even though I've probably never heard it, just because I'm so used to his style.
We'll see more of that when we do Christine and the Thing.
It was funny because in the credits it said soundtrack or music by John Carpenter, and then it said underneath on screen electronic realization by some other asshole.
Alan Hallenworth?
No, it wasn't even him. Yeah, it was somebody else. So it's like John Carpenter's like comes up with it on the piano and then says, you figure it out in the fucking synthesizer, asshole, or whatever. Probably much like his relationship with Alan, whatever his name is.
Hey guys, what's a stomach pounder?
Hey Mom, can I have a stomach pounder and a Coke?
What is that?
Not right now. It's probably them wanting to say quarter pounder, but thought they'd have a funny joke on McDonald's. I always enjoy McDonald's, and it's Big Mac. I'm enjoying one right now. We'll be right back after this McDonald's commercial break. How about also in that scene, we get Adrienne Barbeau in a nightie, but no nip slip. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
She did look good in this movie, though. Probably the best she's looked.
Incredible.
Now, is she known as a hot person? Like, was she hot in the 70s or something?
She wasn't around till this movie. Remember, this is their first movie.
What?
Yeah.
John Carpenter married her and gave her first fucking role in this movie. Yep.
Then I think she did Wes Craven's Swamp Thing.
She did do Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe in like the foreign version of that movie, she gets topless.
Huh.
Well, she has big tits, and usually a lot of times that's enough.
Va 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 voom. Yeah, so all throughout the day we get the adventures of Dan Chalice and Adrienne Barbeau, and they're figuring stuff out, like after the dock scene, the two find the dead body in the boat. It's like a big scare, sort of, I guess. I wasn't very thrilled by it. But they end up in the hospital later, and for some reason this asshole gets up and doesn't attack anyone, but just kind of, wanders over to Jamie Lee and then falls down. Like, what the fuck was this all about?
And writes the number 3.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. Yeah, they have a lot of things where they try to do payoffs. Like, there's a point to, Antonio Bay, 92. And the whole payoff is like Dave said, where the water hits something and it slows down. And that whole thing, the payoff is he wrote 3. And so like a bunch of meaningless payoffs, so things leading up there are kind of meaningless. But the one thing, Matt, like you said about that scare when they found the guy in the boat, that in that moment, what went through my head was, oh, whoa, this is supposed to be like scary to me.
Right, yeah.
Because this guy fell over. Oh, okay, I get it. That's supposed to be a jump scare.
Yeah, what's worse about it, that was the second way that they filmed that. This was one of the reshoots. They had actually filmed it with the same style of scare where he falls down out of nowhere. But it according to John Carpenter, he said it wasn't working, so they refilmed it. And it's essentially the same scare, but to me it just doesn't work either way.
Oh, it seemed like, this is a jump scare.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It was too reminiscent of the fucking of Halloween with the the Funhouse gag type shit.
Oh, you mean the best part of Halloween?
You think that's the best part when the body?
I don't think so.
No, it's the worst part. I'm just trying to
well,
rise
some
out
people
of
like
Alex.
it. I don't have a problem with it. I think that I can live with the execution of it in that movie with the music and the whatever. In Halloween, it's forgivable. In this movie,
yeah, right, it's forgivable there.
Yes, in this movie, it's just thrown in and cheap.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
To me, all this stuff happens during the day, and it feels like all of that is for nothing because it's not exciting. It doesn't progress the story really in any way. I mean, I guess the main characters kind of figure it out with all these events, but the only exciting things are the opening scene at night and then the climax at night. Everything else to me is very not worth it, and so that it kind of drags this movie down.
Yeah, I agree, but it really is filled with a lot of good shots. I think it's really good to look at. The fog rolling, a lot of the stuff they did with the fog and with the ghosts themselves, I think is really
I agree.
Really
yeah.
good. Yeah, it's really effective what they did. When they got it right, they really got it right. But I don't want to call them plot holes, but there's just things in the story that just seem, for a better word, lacking.
Mm-hmm. You know what's weird? I watched this for the first time, and I liked it. Then I watched it again on Blu-ray, and I didn't really like it. I thought it was, like, insanely boring. Then I watched it today on this cough syrup, and I was into it again.
There you go.
And I really thought it was good this time. And I was like, I was really harsh. There's not a dull moment in this movie. And then I turned to my left, and I looked at my syrup, and I noticed there's codeine in it. And I said to myself, I wonder if this is the narcotics talking, or if I just happened to hit like a stride or something with the movie, and it really is good, because they must have thought it was good. Like, you can't make a bad movie. You don't know it's bad. Somebody has to think it's good. Am I talking like cough syrup again?
No, listen. It's atmospheric.
I think you tapped in. That's it. You tapped into the atmosphere. Yeah. That's the best thing that this movie has. It's what they were trying to do.
Right.
And I think for the most part they succeed with the way it looks, the way it's shot, the characters and stuff like that. And I think you just were, at that moment, you tapped into it, which is what you got to do. You just turn your brain off and get fucked up, and it's a good movie.
Yeah. You know, this is the kind of movie you just get fucked up and come home, man.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yep.
Take some mushrooms.
Put a Hot Pocket in the oven. Kick that pig on the couch, you know?
Hot Pocket.
You're all good, man.
Celeste Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't have those here. Yeah, you talked about the fog and the shots of that. I thought that was really cool, how they made that and literally kind of gave it a life of its own. You know, it's illuminating, pulsating, stuff like that. The way it swallows buildings and stuff like that later in the movie. I mean, you know, some could say it looks bad or it's dated or something like that, but I thought it looked great.
Yes. And on the Blu-ray, I just got the Blu-ray for this.
Me too.
And I had the same reaction as you did, Alex.
Yeah?
But I didn't take codeine. I just watched the movie and
I was just
really
super high.
I was straight sober and watched it, and I wish I was high. But no, I was straight sober. I came in, I watched it, and maybe because it was Blu-ray and the soundtrack was really good. Matter of fact, I have a new sound system I've had for a few months now, and this was the first time the fucking bass was annoyingly loud. Like, I never seen such a bassy movie, and I've been watching movies all this time without a problem. The way the soundtrack was done, it was very bassy. I had to keep lowering it. I didn't mind. My wife wasn't too thrilled about it. But
about that bass.
Yeah, it was a little too much. Bass!
Man, hey, Dave, is your wife here? Was that your wife?
Yeah. Turn that shit off!
There she is again.
Motherfucker!
Wow. Oh, man.
Wow, is that your wife?
Fuck up,
what is
bitch.
she? Oh, my God. Get the fuck out my house.
I'm gonna leave you for a brother. Shut up, bitch. Go fix me a turkey pot pie. You short dick, bitch.
Jesus.
You and I both know that's not true, woman.
Hey, Dave, should we leave you guys alone, or?
Nah, shut the fuck up, bitch. Get out of here. Go ahead, faggot. Get back on your radio show. Quieter, you pig.
Faggot. God, that's fucking harsh. Jesus.
That's harsh.
Wow.
It happens.
So, yeah, let's talk about Father Malone. Now, you talked about how he was in Creepshow. What story was he in? He was in The Crate.
Yes.
Right? That was a bad... This guy's a good actor, and I only know him from this role and that role.
Really?
Yeah, has he been in some other shit I should know about?
Well, he's been around for years, I can tell you that.
Hal Holbrook.
He was in Into the Wild. Did you ever see that movie?
No, I don't watch movies. I want to see Dan Chalice and this priest team up, because it looks like they should be in a buddy duo adventure, just fucking chicks. Or in his case, I guess little boys.
He was Into the Wild. He's in Lincoln, Wall Street, Men of Honor, Planes, Fire and Rescue, Monday Morning, all shit.
Yeah. He's still kicking it.
Oh, he was in Sons of Anarchy. He played Peg Bundy's dad in that. Oh, wow.
All of a sudden, he's
that's right. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Remember?
Oh, you're there? Oh, yeah, right. Season 3. Every show now, Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, it's even permeated onto BananaLaser, Sons of Anarchy.
Jesus.
Well, he's still kicking it. He's 89 years old. Good for you, Hal. Hope you're fucking Billy still.
Oh, wait, here's the big question. When you guys were mentioning the quality of The Fog, and if we think it was good or look good, how did it look in the remake?
Never saw it.
I was going to ask you guys. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Nothing good about it at all.
Yeah, I have never heard anybody talk about that movie in any fashion. So that means it's not good, right? I haven't heard anybody bash it, which usually we hear all the time.
I have.
Given our circle.
I think Jamie said it's crap or something.
Yeah, I've heard they have they have comic relief in there, they have a Token Black in there, just all kinds of modern stuff that's just there for no reason. Nah, just doesn't make sense.
Well, good thing we're reviewing that movie next, so stay tuned, guys.
Hey, do you guys think that, being as political as he is in some of his other movies, do you think that this whole thing was like, because they're having that big party later and it's 100 years to the day, it's like the mayor's there, whatever the fuck, they're having this big party. Do you think this was kind of a like a slant on the bicentennial, something like that? Like, because it's like saying, okay, when this country, well, not this country, but when Antonio Bay was founded, these brave men did this, that, and the other fucking thing for us to be here. Meanwhile, we come to find out that they just fucked these people over and took their money, and that's why they did it. Do you think that Carpenter was making a statement about like the United States celebrating its type of thing?
Well, I mean, you talked earlier about his political views and stuff like that. I don't know. I wouldn't think that he would try to make it that deep or anything, but
it's maybe an undertone.
Maybe you know more about him than I do. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at They Live. It doesn't get much more political than that.
Buy, sleep, consume.
And this is 1980. The bicentennial was 1776. It was just something that I had never thought about before watching this movie. And as I was seeing them making the speech talking about the brave people and how this place was founded, and meanwhile we're finding out all these terrible things that that really went on, and that's why this place why they had money and they were able to do this stuff. So I thought, do you think that he was trying to convey some type of message here?
I don't know, but that's a really good theory, and it makes sense. So, I mean, yeah, fuck George Washington. That fucking fuck.
Who fucked more slaves, George Washington or Thomas Jefferson?
Ooh. You know, I'd like to think of it as a draw. Like they fucked all of them. Just, you know, one took 50%, the other took 50%. Yeah. They bit on them with their wooden teeth.
Well, there are a lot of Washingtons and Jeffersons this day and age. So.
Black Washington and Jeffersons?
Yes. Yes.
Holy shit, the Jeffersons? Let's go down another rabbit hole here.
George Washington Duke.
Oh, fuck. Only in America.
I started a week ago in San Diego. Right up the coast, 5 drawings a day. It'll probably take me a month to get to Vancouver, and if I can sell them for $5 a piece, I'll be rich.
Cool. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Hi.
Let's talk about one of the scenes I think is one of the better scenes in the movie, and that's back in the evening whenever the grandma and the little boy are in the house together, and the fog is starting to swallow the house, and Adrienne Barbeau is freaking out. This is actually one of the only scenes that I find suspense in. And I was trying to figure out why that was, and my only guess is that maybe it's because it's an old lady and a little boy, and so maybe they're more helpless than Dan Chalice or Jamie Lee Curtis.
I love how these things are willing to knock on your door and see if you'll answer instead of just killing you. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's like a vampire thing. Hey, can I come in? Heard you got some blood in there I want.
Well, think about it. They're dead. They're ghosts. They don't get to have much fun. So when they do come out, they're going to fuck around. You know, they're going to blow up bottles, blow up clocks, knock on doors.
Hey, Blake, you know what'd be awesome? Oh, man, we just got to fuck with these people, man. I mean, they're already going to be freaked out, man. Why don't we just knock on the door all creepy-like?
And if they don't answer, we go away. That's it, man. That's the whole thing. It's a joke. I don't get it.
They're only there.
Oh, it's like Ring and Run. Remember Ring and Run from 1880?
Oh man, we called it something else.
Yeah. So did we.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is earlier in the movie, the first night that Jamie Lee and Dan Chalice are together, they get a knock on the door by one of these assholes. But then, like, as soon as he's fucking answering the door, the dude's got his scythe up or whatever, gonna fucking smash his face. He vanishes. What's up with that?
1 o'clock.
Oh, it's all about the time and the curse. Okay.
Night till 1.
Gotcha.
That's why. Yep.
Okay.
And you see the thing because the clock blows up right before it, so they make you see what time it is. What the fucking time it is. Yeah. So.
Can you imagine, like, if Flavor Flav lived in Antonia Bay, and what that would be like? Like, that could, when the clock burst.
Around his neck?
Oh, dude, it could have, like, exploded his chest, and then he would have never gotten to fuck the chick from
Brigitte Nielsen? Yeah.
Another Rocky reference.
Yep, of course. Maybe he would have fucked, what's her name? Marion Crane. That's what they should have had. They could have had a Flavor of Love in the fog. They could have been competing for his affection. Jamie Lee Curtis.
In the fog. Ugh. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see all the ladies jump on Dan Chalice.
Ladies, all the
Did
ladies.
you guys ever see the porno version of this movie? It's called I can't. That's too harsh.
The
John Carpenter's.
Oh yeah, all the salesmen. Oh, knowing that they would be called seamen.
Yeah, right. Holy shit! All decks on hand. All dicks on hand.
All hands on deck. Oh my
Holy
god.
Fuck. Oh, that's great.
So
you know what? Suspense. That was the only suspenseful scene, man. It wasn't because it was a grandma and a kid. The scene when the other people got whacked on the boat, there was no suspense there. It was kind of creepy, and all of a sudden they were dead. Although there was a little suspense with Adrienne Barbeau on top of the lighthouse at the same time.
Yeah, I guess so. That was kind of parallel to the events at the end. So yeah,
which I liked.
I think another reason why I like that moment is because it was a scene that was featured in the documentary esque movie, Terror in the Aisles. You guys know of this movie?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I have it, but I never saw it.
Oh, really?
It's actually a lot of fun.
It's Loomis. You got to watch it. It's fucking straight Loomis.
Is
And
it?
Nancy
I
Allen.
turned it off in like 3 minutes.
What? Oh, man. Oh, it's great.
I didn't know where it was going.
Watch it while you got
It doesn't
the
go anywhere. It's literally just clips of different
Of what?
movies. Of
Oh, but it's
movies.
intelligently done. The clips are arranged in a good way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
I
well-
saw that movie dozens of times before I ever saw The Fog. And so I knew that scene very well. And then it wasn't until years later. So maybe it's a holdover of the suspense I felt while watching the movie then. So, yeah, check it out. So eventually we get to the end, and all of our heroes collectively, except for Adrienne Barbeau, she stays in that fucking lighthouse the whole time. They somehow careen back at the church, and the old father figures out by reading his grandfather's book that he found earlier in the film that what the plot is, and it's all about this gold and how they stole Blake's money to what? I guess build the town,
Build a cross out of it.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like, what was the point of taking this asshole's money? Like, he could have just said, "Hey, I don't want your fucking leper colony here. Fuck off." But instead, he took his money and then murdered his ass. Why?
For the money. What do you mean, why? That's
Yeah,
the
but
answer. You
then-
answered it yourself.
But then, what?
The guy
good
was
is-
rich.
Okay, what good is having money if all you do is turn it into a cross and put it in a fucking wall?
Well, hold on. Who's to say that all of the gold went to that cross?
I think I said that.
Well, no, they said that they built the town because they even said that these people came in and they built the town with this money. That's why they were able. That's why they did it.
They built these
to boost the
titties.
economy.
They
What's
built
that?
these titties with silicone. Guys, shut up! I'm singing here. Built these titties.
How come when he grabbed the cross, it seemed like that was the conclusion? Then, if the money was everywhere else.
Well, it did seem that way, and once again with this movie, there are some things that don't make a lot of sense, and that is what I just want to say. Hey, yeah, the cross was there, and obviously we saw what happened at the end with it. But
Yeah, he shook it a bunch.
Maybe all the eggs weren't in the same basket. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they had the cross as backup. But let me say this: when that did happen, with the gold cross and the ghost and all that shit, I'm thinking, so all this time, this is all about fucking money. That's what they're fair.
Yeah, it's like Die Hard. These aren't terrorists.
It's like Garfield's Halloween special.
It's just like that.
The pirate ghosts came back to take the gold treasure that was buried underneath the in that house 100 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And I, even as a kid, I said, well, why would the ghosts need money?
To fix
what
their
would they do
fucking
with it?
leprosy.
Well, they were pretty fair for being ghosts. You would think that if they want to wreak havoc and have revenge, they should just come and wipe out the whole fucking town. Why does it have to be 6? They're awfully fair for fucking, antagonists. We're just gonna kill 6 people, and then, well, they don't even make it to 6. How about that? They get
they make it to 6.
Spoilers, okay.
Spoilers.
Okay, without spoilers. But I'm just saying.
1980.
Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm saying at this point of the movie, with the cross, they only have 5. And in other words, they're saying, well, you're going to give us the gold. We won't take the final life. We'll go away. We have our gold back. And that's when I was scratching my head saying, what the fuck? They went through all of this just for gold? I was like bummed out. I was like, that's fucked up. But then, of course, we get the surprise at the end. But even if, it's still 6 people. They're awfully fair for being fucking beyond the grave. Almost like they're the good guys. I guess in a way they are.
All of this, and it turns out you're just a common thief. McLean, shoot the glass. Let's just do Die Hard lines.
Go for it.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Dave's like, I've never seen Die Hard.
No, I was okay with the Rocky series. I could have kept going with that. But
You haven't seen Die Hard for real?
I have not.
Oh my! I want to punch you right now.
I don't like
I saw
action
part
movies.
1 and that's it, I think.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs.
So
Really?
Jeff Spicoli.
Huh. Wow. Okay. I'm
It did.
shocked.
What, that I haven't seen Die Hard?
Or that Alex hadn't seen any of the sequels.
What's wrong with that?
They're great movies.
And you like
Really?
those kind of movies, Alex?
I'm still trying to figure out why Bruce Willis is a star.
Because of Die Hard. You don't like Bruce Willis?
No.
Interesting. Die Hard 3 is definitely worth checking out. Jeremy Irons, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't somebody famous direct one of those, 2 or 3?
The guy who did Nightmare on Elm Street 4 did part 2. Rennie Harlan.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking Dick Screamin'. I mean, Father Malone. I don't know why I just called him that. Father Malone, he fucking defeats the evil. His drunk ass, you know.
The evil is gone!
The evil's gone, man. The evil's gone. It's gone.
I gave him all the gold.
Why wasn't Pleasance in this movie? Fuck, that's the one guy from Halloween. How do you not bring him in? He should have been the old man in the beginning telling the ghost story.
Dude, yeah.
Right? How do you not bring... Honestly, why wasn't Pleasance cast in Hal Holbrook's role? Honestly.
Pleasance could have been like...
Get Carpenter on the phone.
I saw the 6 of them staring at the wall, looking past the wall, looking at this very night 100 years ago.
With their leper faces and their eyes sliding down their face.
They had the greenest skin. The greenest skin.
The brightest eyes.
That one asshole on the rooftop had like worms squiggling on his face.
Oh, I like that. It made sense, but he was the only close-up we had.
Mm-hmm. That was... That
You know?
that
That
whole
was reshot.
Yeah, that entire sequence of her being chased up the
Stop it, man.
thing was a.
Please.
I'm being serious.
I know it's ruining the movie. Everything
I
I
find
like
it
about
fascinating. No,
Do
no, all yes, just because it's like filmmaking and movie magic. Like we filmed this fucking 6 months later and we put it in here, and you really don't know until somebody tells you, like, hey, this is all. And I find that stuff behind the scenes, fascinating.
In a way I do, but it makes me question Carpenter. I was like, what the fuck was he doing?
No, it should make you revel in his genius, because he made this movie. He sat down, put it all together, watched it, and said, he even claims this. He says this movie was terrible. So what do I do?
I'm sorry.
He's like, most directors would just be like, wither up and give up. He's like, no. He's like, I want to fix this. So we went back out and reshot all this stuff and made a better movie.
I was missing. Okay, I feel great about it now. Bravo, Carpenter.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad we're doing the retro. No, I thought that like the studio or a test audience or something, somebody saw it and said, hey, go back and make these changes. Like in fucking
I got you.
Jason Lives, how they fucking threw in extra bodies to get killed because
in Halloween 2.
Oh, the best scene
Yes,
in
Halloween
Jason
2.
Lives.
He had to reshoot.
Yeah.
John Carpenter came in to reshoot a lot of Halloween 2. Well, not a lot. I shouldn't say that. But
yeah, but he was wasted. I understand that he said he didn't want to do it and he was drunk. He was fucked up the whole process. For this movie, he made the movie, watched it or whatever, and then said, I want to go back. It was a conscious effort on his part.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for clearing that up, because I was thinking, what the fuck was this dude thinking that people... I just assumed people were telling him. You agree, Alex? Did you see that other people were saying, hey, go back and do this and do that to make changes?
No, when Matt said it, I assumed or pictured him sitting there in the editing room and just being like, this is kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see? I had the whole wrong idea then. Okay. I thought of other people, the studio or the producers or somebody, because you hear that a lot these days, that someone else comes and tells the director, I think we should make some changes.
Yeah, I think watching the behind-the-scenes footage and all this stuff and of how they changed the movie and reworked the entire movie is fascinating and almost as
more
good of
interesting than the movie itself.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to watch the... Oh, good, because I got the Blu-ray and all this.
It's all on the Blu-ray, yeah. It's the commentaries, the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's like 50% of it is about this stuff. It's very cool.
Oh, that's great. Well, good for him. I'm glad he went back into that. That is really cool.
Yeah, if only he did that with Ghost of Mars or Escape from L.A.,
Okay.
In doing some research for this, which I did very little, I came across a few lists that actually put this movie, The Fog, as worse than Escape from L.A., which I don't know if you guys have seen Escape from L.A., but it is bad. It's really bad.
Is it really? Why?
It's just, well, if you want to see the absolute worst visual effects in your life, watch that movie. And if you want to see him take an iconic character, Snake Plissken, and just shit all over it, that's probably what's really bad about it. Is the first one was such a great movie with almost nothing, and the sequel had tons of money, and it looks like garbage, and it makes this badass, in a world of shit.
Is it a poor man's Escape from New York? Is that a good way to say it?
It's basically the exact same plot. It's pretty much the same movie. It's set 15 years or 20 years later or whatever it is. It's just unfortunate that it's also made by Carpenter, and it's atrocious to watch. You'll get about 45 minutes in, you're like, hey, this isn't so bad. It's not so bad. And then they go surfing, like down a
Spicoli, yeah?
Yeah, that kind of. Oh man, it's bad.
That's fucked up. I'll tell you what.
Stick it up your crack.
Speaking of sticking things up your crack, I just got a text from my wife. All kidding aside.
Gotta go?
No. And it says, I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
Wow, Halloween remake.
Because I say that to her all the time, jokingly.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and skull fuck the shit
out of you. Yes.
Yeah. Jokingly, he says.
Yeah, he's a real sweet guy.
We know
well,
your game.
You heard how she acted. You heard what the kind of shit she was doing before. It goes back and forth there.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well. So I figured I'd throw that in just because it fit the mood of the show. So yeah.
Okay.
Carpenter. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Because it was bumming me out. But now my faith has been restored. And I can give him a pass on the other stuff because he was older. Every one of the greats got shittier as they got older. It's just a progression of things.
So the last shot, our last scene, I guess, in this movie is the one last jump scare. And I think that he actually did this to great effect because it's a good gotcha moment and it leaves you, pumped. That's what you take away from the movie is that singular moment of gotcha, Father Mahoney or whatever his name is. It's one of those moments where, sometimes people think these jumps at the end cheapen a movie, but I think it elevates it because that, like I said, that's your last impression of the movie. So you kind of, the whole climax and stuff like this, you forget about the slow parts in the middle. And you just think about how exciting that the finale was.
Yeah, the ending could fool you, man. You could walk out of a movie thinking you just saw something great. And it was like, yeah, but what about the other 80 minutes?
Yeah. So let's do something that we haven't done in a long time. And that is give out some awards.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. First up, let's go with the banana split. The best kill of the film. Let's start with our newcomer, Alex. What do you think?
So who died in this movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
well, five died. We know that.
No, 6 died.
No. Oh, yeah. My bad. 6 did die.
I don't really remember them, really.
Nothing stands out. That's the problem with this movie.
On the boat. Something stands out to me, but there's the 3 on the boat. And then who are the other 2 in between?
The old lady and Sheriff Brackett.
Okay, I remember his kill.
Okay.
So I'll say him, because that's the only one I remember.
Yeah, he got the hook in the neck.
Okay.
He's like, they ain't gonna like finding me home.
And whoever it is, they ain't gonna like finding me home.
Sweetheart. Yeah, I just hated him in this movie.
Well, they took a couple of ropes, a knife. Who do you think it was?
Yeah, they ain't gonna like finding me home. Like, that's such... Oh, you're a bad ass.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Dave, what do you think?
Oh, it's easy. The first kill was great. The fucking...
Which one was that?
The sword through the chest, right?
Yeah, because it totally took you by surprise. The guy's just standing there. Next thing you know, it's half jump scare, half fucking cool-ass kill, because all of a sudden, this fucking big, long knife is sticking out of his stomach, because the guy got him from behind.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it was great. What a way to fucking kick off the shit. Because it was so moody. You're sitting there and you're seeing the fog and you're seeing these guys. You're like, what the fuck? And they
Put on your shit, kickers, and kick some shit. Put on your shit, kickers, and kick some shit.
And then, boom, the fucking knife comes up through him. It was sweet. So, yeah, that's easy. It was a banana split. In every sense of the word, that guy was split.
Cut right down the middle. And I agree with you, Dave. That's probably the most exciting kill. I would almost say the father at the end, but that was a cut to black kind of a scenario. And
right. Okay,
it wasn't as satisfying.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Hey. All right.
Hey. All right.
Okay. Well, let's move on to banana you'd like to peel. Mm-hmm. The hottest chick in this movie. I'll just go first because everybody knows mine. It's Annie Brackett. I need a moment. Okay. Go ahead, guys.
Alex, go ahead.
Oh, damn it.
Ah.
I was hoping to write off your coattails.
I'm thinking about it.
It's tough. It's tough, man.
Now, do I have to do as if I was in this movie, or I can go with the future?
No, within the movie.
Okay.
Because
you are in Antonio Bay.
Because then I picked Janet Leigh also.
Antonio Bay. I did something damaging, actually, because I found Annie Brackett so hot. I'm like, what does she look like today? And,
don't.
Oh, man.
Right.
That's no. Mm-mm,
As a matter of fact, we talked about it on the Halloween retrospective. That's why I picked PJ Souls, and that was the reason I gave. I chose her over Annie Brackett because I was watching that documentary, The Halloween 25 Years of Terror, and I saw her on it and how fucking bad she looked, and I couldn't get that picture of her out of my head. So that's why I picked PJ Souls.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
By default, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with JLC here.
Wow, JLC is a
Is it because she was so slutty?
I started a week ago in San Diego. Right up the coast, 5 drawings a day. It'll probably take me a month to get to Vancouver, and if I can sell them for $5 a piece, I'll be rich.
Cool. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Hi.
Yeah, she's more the kind of girl I would actually be with.
Yeah, low-end pussy, right.
My dog started to bark at 12 last night and didn't stop until 6 this morning.
What happened?
He was pointed toward the
What
ocean.
happened?
Listen to that sweet voice.
My dog goes crazy and decides to bark at the water.
I heard the church bells at midnight as I started to drift
baby.
off to sleep, and suddenly my car alarm went off for absolutely no
tell me
reason.
all about it.
Really?
Woke up the whole block.
Here, I think it's like this. It's like, I woke up early this morning and my dog was running around the house, and suddenly my car alarm went off, and it woke up the neighbors, and I got up and went outside. Wow, really? That's crazy.
Is that all my
I'm
lines?
building an empire.
It sounds like that.
Not built upon shit.
Did you guys think I'm crazy? Like, when I literally one time was watching, the second time I watched this, I was laughing out loud. I said, this sounds like a play, like a high school play. Am I
you're
right?
not
Did
wrong.
you guys hear that?
No, I definitely do, yeah.
Their run-on sentence, yeah, that's poorly
horrendous.
executed. The rest,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Yeah, it never really bothers me, but you pointing it out, it's pretty funny.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thanks for ruining this good movie.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna make it interesting, and because I complimented her before, said it was the best she ever looked, and I liked her with long hair, I'm gonna take Adrienne Barbeau.
Nice.
Yep. So we each took a different girl. So if the three of us were in Antonio Bay, it would be smooth sailing for us salesmen.
Dude, can you imagine us hooking up with Dan Chalice and just running through this town and just fucking laying pipe? Man, best night of our life. And then getting some stomach pounders the next day.
I'll give her some stomach pounders. I'll tell you that.
Up in them guts.
Just some sailors in her stomach.
Well, if Mahoney blows...
Salesman. Let me splatter you with salesmen.
Sailors. Salesmen. She'll have salesmen, and there's a good way to fuck that joke up. Oh, boy.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Mahoney ever just gets fucking really pissed and decides to bomb the Laser Lounge and we all die together, I hope that we end up in Antonio Bay, and then we can live out these fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. I would take that as heaven. So.
Heaven. Yeah. All right.
And we could swap. We'd have fun.
I ain't swapping shit. She's mine.
They'll be swapping shit.
She's mine!
Mine!
She's mine! Mine!
All right, so let's do my favorite part of any movie review, and that's giving a rating out of 5 stars. Alex, what would you rate John Carpenter's The Fog from 1980?
I'm going to give it because like I said, I had an experience when it was not that good. I had experience when it was good. So I'm going to land in the middle, which I think is appropriate with a 3. That means I liked it.
Dave Z.
Yes. I will give it a 3.5 severed heads out of 5.
Is that what we're doing now?
I gave it the Matt rating. Yeah, that was your rating for fucking Solve Something. Way back when you said you typed up that thing online. So, yeah.
I found that on MySpace.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for one of the Saw movies. He gave his review at the end. I forgot which one it was.
It was Saw 5.
Nice.
I remembered I wrote some review on MySpace, and after going through about fucking 10 different channels to recover that page, I found it.
So I said, one day I'm going to pull that rating out of the bag. And I've been waiting for the right day, and that day became today.
Severed heads.
Yep.
Well, I give this movie... I liked the movie. I liked the atmosphere. I felt it kind of dragged in the middle. But that doesn't take away overall of the fun I had with the characters and the ensemble and the atmosphere and the effects and stuff like that. I think this is it should be a definite watch for any Carpenter fan or any horror fan. So I give it 3 out of 5 severed heads as well. So I tie with Alex. So it's a good movie. It's not great. It's definitely not Carpenter's best, but it's still good, and it's no Escape from L.A.
Get the fuck out of here.
Glowing review. $11:55. Almost midnight. Enough time for one more story. One more story before 12. Just to keep us from masturbating incessantly. And when it's over, it will be the 21st of April. One year ago, on the 21st of April, in the BananaLaser studio, 3 assholes were recording. Suddenly, out of the night, the fog rolled into the laser lounge. For a moment, they could see nothing, not a foot in front of them. Then, they saw a light. By God, it was Alex's laptop left open, streaming fuck videos, and the light from it was strong enough to penetrate the swirling mist. Much like this dude's banana penetrating the hottie on screen. Their eyes gazed towards the screen. It was a laptop, not unlike what you are probably hearing this on right now. The men could not tear away. The woman, being banged so hard, almost sheared in two. The man trying to snap her like a twig. As their excitement grew, so did their pelvic areas. And so the men retired to their quarters for the night. And in their rooms, the banana men, with their hands, calmed their excitement. Their eyes closing, they began to sleep. And in the lounge, as suddenly as it came, the fog lifted, receded back outside the studio, and never came again. But it is told by the LaserNation and their fathers and grandfathers that when the fog returns to BananaLaser, the men of the Laser Lounge will rise up and search for the web video that led them to their dark jerk sesh. 12 o'clock. 21st of April. Banana Laser wins every time.